Brian Battle. I'm here with some phenomenal individuals, Mr. Michael Delco, we call Coach, Mr. Kevin Thompson, 1/3 of Team Freedom Leadership, and Mr. Jamil Muhammad, Minister Muhammad. I'm blessed to be working with these gentlemen and our team called Wealth Builders Worldwide. We're here together collectively to talk about a phenomenal topic that so many people around the world are asking about and really want to get more clarity about. And the topic of our discussion today is going to be why KaratBars? And, why KaratBars rather than some other company out here? And we got 10 points we really want to talk about because we believe in our heart that KaratBar is the answer to what people are looking for out here in society. We truly understand, we believe it, we understand it, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to have an open discussion, but it's really going to be a training mechanism we're going to use to impart information on individuals every single day around the world why KaratBars is the answer to what we have going on. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off, everyone. Again, Mr. Michael Delco, Mr. Kevin Thompson, Mr. Jamil Muhammad, and it's going to be an open dialogue we're going to be talking about. But the first thing we want to talk about is, why KaratBars? And I have 10 points I want to really just touch on, and we're going to go through it. The first one is the reason why is it's free to enroll. First thing it is free to enroll.
Out the gate, you going to come like that, bro?
He hit us as hard as he could.
It's real simple. It's free to enroll. And I want everyone to touch on it. I've been in multiple companies over the years, and I know that in order for you to get started, you got to pay an entry fee. Whether it's $99, whether it's going to be Mary Kay or something else, it's going to be like $5 or so. It could be as much as $4.99. I've been in companies where we paid over $1,500.
Man, talk about that.
To get some products and services.
Did that twice.
Absolutely did it twice. But here in KaratBars, the genius of our company through Harold Seitz, the visionary of our company, he said we want to make it an entry level that anybody can get started. As long as you have a smartphone, a computer, access to the internet, have some information you can put in there, very, very simple, you can enroll for free. So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to share with everybody else. Give me your thoughts on why it's important to understand why the entry level to allow people to come in for free. Why is that significant? I'll pass the ball to you, Mr. Thompson, if you want to go ahead and go from there.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, being another part of another 1/3 part of the Team Freedom organization, I love the fact that we're in collaboration with the Wealth Builders Worldwide, following the tutelage and the leadership of Mr. Michael Delco and Mr. Tyrone Best. And then in having a group like the Woodward Group, who is collaborating with us as well to make this thing official, being able to have a company that you could get started for free just takes all the excuses off the table. But it's crazy because it also puts the excuses back on the table, and it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's funny when you're dealing with people and you're talking to them and you share with them and you kind of back them down, because don't get it twisted. It's still a business, and we still have a business package that allows you to get compensated, from your efforts in the opportunity. But when you want to get yourself in position, we can back that all the way down to where you get in, where you fit in. And it ultimately just exposes the excuses to people on, or the excuses of people as to why they, don't believe in themselves, or they don't believe in the opportunity, or just simply just don't believe that it's a possibility. So it throws the excuses back on the table. What about you, Brother Jamil?
It's interesting you talk about throwing the excuses back on the person who's involved in denying themselves, denying the opportunity, denying even their own vision. I remember a story, Mr. Delco, brothers. A friend of ours met a woman at a well, and she was there getting water and doing what she did. And he told her, look, if you give me some of the water to drink, I'll give you of a living water that you'll never run out of. She said, how can you do that? Then he told her about her problems, but he didn't tell her problems in front of everybody. He told her problems to her so that she understood that he had insight into some of the things that were stopping her, impeding her, blocking her from doing the things that she could do in her life. Once she understood that not only could she do those things, but in this man was a trusted confidant who would tell her her problems to her and not tell her problems to everyone else. Then she left that well and came back to the well, bringing all the other people that she knew had similar problems. What we got to do, we got to bring people to this well. And the well that we have is a well that constantly replenishes our financial capability, to give us time freedom, to give us location freedom, to give us, of course, financial freedom. These freedoms then allow us to realize our best lives. But first, we have to do, like you said, Mr. Thompson, we've got to confront the facts that we haven't always been able to do that, because we have excuse after excuse. And somebody's got to take us into a private area to correct us in private and then lift us up in public. And that's what I love about KaratBars. It is a family. Why KaratBars? Because you not only want to do business where you can start your business for free, where you can get in where you fit in with a business package that reflects what your current reality is and how you want to grow to compensate by paying yourself first at the highest and most advantageous level. But also you want to do that in a community where you understand, like I understand, that I'm not just in business by myself. I'm in business for myself, but not by myself.
Yes.
What I want to say. I'm in business for myself, yes, but I have a coach. I have brothers. I have family members. I have encouraging words. I have websites, power calls, connections, Zooms. There are so many support mechanisms here. Mr. Battle, you can't lose with Karat. In order for you to lose with KaratBars, you have to be, I don't know, brain dead and angry at yourself. You gotta be like brain dead and mad that I'm just mad at myself and don't want nothing for myself. And there are some people like that. I tell you, come on to the well. There's a man that I talk to, and he'll talk to you too.
Man, that's awesome, Brother Jamil. I tell you, I learned a long time ago from my mentor said that, you know, facts tell, stories sell. And that story you just said, it just resonates to me, you know, why it's so important to really dig into what you really understand about a business and knowing that someone's there to help you step by step. I want to pass the ball to our esteemed coach, Mr. Michael Delco. You know, that's the guy that we go to, that we call coach, affectionately, emotionally, because he pours into so much in everything that we do. You know, we couldn't have found a better leader, and what we decided to come on board with KaratBars. And Mr. Thompson and I sat down and said, you know what, the main thing that we're looking for is a leader that really wants to see everybody win, not just in the team that he actually is a part of, that's a part of his downline, but everybody across the board who's a part of KaratBars. And we watched him just give of himself. And we just so blessed, and we love him so much that we just honored to be working with us. So Coach, we just want, you know, we jump in because it's a blessing that you be on this call right now with us.
Hold on for a second, Brian. Hold on for a second, Coach. 1 second. I got to slide in here before we throw you this ball. I wanna take the alley-oop from the brother, and before you go hard in the paint, I want people to really understand. See, Brian just tapped it just a little bit. See, we've been in business so long and been dealing with so many different individuals that claim to be leaders or mentors or coaches, that we've had our array and watched the up and the ebb and flow of leadership, as it were, to us as individuals. And we watched leaders who stabbed us in the back. We watched leaders who were not leaders at all. We watched individuals who really had ulterior motives and all these different things. And so when we were introduced to you, and I still remember it like it was yesterday, that very first telephone call when Brian and I had a chance to be physically introduced via telephone, and we spent about 30, 40 minutes just getting some information about the opportunity, but just that introduction of you. Then to fast forward to now currently and realize that was a true you. See, because I generally talk to folks and I explain to them, time does three things, and it always stands to be proven. Time reveals all fraud, time reveals all truth, and time reveals all defects. And if you have the patience to sit around and just watch the timing, then you can see. But as time has proven, man, you've been one of the most integral, one of the most, knowledgeable, one of the most, I could go through several different adjectives, but, for those that are on this line and watching, that have experienced you, they already know, and I'm probably overcooking their grits. So I just wanted to make sure that folks understood that having a proper leader, a proper person to coach you through your next phase of development is so important. And just like Minister Jamil said, being able to come in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Absolutely having somebody truthfully that's going to hold your hand and take you to the next level. That right there was the magic key to the lock for Brian and I. Team Freedom, the Woodward Group.
That's it.
Coach, there go the shot.
Well, thank you for saying all that, Mr. Thompson. And what's so amazing about it, Mr. Battle, I have no idea what the stream is going to go at this point because Kevin just he reset the whole conversation. So we started out trying to talk about 10 reasons why KaratBars, the top 10 reasons. There's probably really like a top 1,000, and we're trying to boil it down to 10. And then Mr. Thompson takes us to a whole new level. Team, what's the name of your team, Mr. Thompson? Team what?
Team Freedom.
And the first 4 letters of freedom is what?
FREE. It stands for Finding Real Educated Entrepreneurs. I'm gonna
All
stop.
right. So Mr. Battle said the first reason why KaratBars is it's free to join, right? And just starting right there, we lose concept and perspective, and we take free to mean not valuable.
Wow.
But guys, when I woke up this morning, let me tell you why that one is so big. When I woke up this morning, I woke up to a video sent to me by my mentor, Mr. Tybez, that really just started my day on a high. And before I could finish the video, I got some kind of down news from one of my family members. And it took me right out of that high and started moving me back down. And as I'm moving down, and the energy is dragging me down, and I got all this stuff on me that I got to take care of for my family. And we're all men on the stream, and no shade to my sisters, but we're all men on the stream. And so I know that I'm in good company when I say that the number one thing you wake up with in the morning is my family. I think about my family, especially we all, if those of us on the stream that have some hair, it's great. It's gray. And the ones that don't have it on their head, it's gray on their chin, right? We are men. And when I wake up, when my eyes open and I realize I'm still here, the next thought is my family.
Yes.
And so my mentor starts me on this high. When Minister Jamil said, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, I got to throw in one reason, Mr. Battle, is that what he said. Why KaratBars? Because unlike any business I've ever been in, this is truly a family.
Yes.
That
I
matters.
heard a lady say on the call yesterday, she said, the reason why people stay in KaratBars for years is because of that family. We got you. And guys, y'all picked me up so much today, I can't even tell you. I cannot even begin to express the level of energy that y'all pull me out of that pit with today. So you didn't even know you pulled me out of the pit. My mind, Kevin, when you text me and you said, can you get on the stream with us real quick? My mind said no, but my heart said yes. I did not have the emotional wherewithal to even be on the stream, but you hear the power in my voice right now. That power in my voice right now is coming from Jamil Muhammad's heart. It's coming out of Kevin Thompson's heart. It's coming from Brian Battle's heart. You guys entwined my heart. And what would have been an otherwise dreadful day is now ostensibly a winning day because I have a team. I'm not in this by myself. So let me write down number 2 for me is you're not alone.
Yes. Come on, man.
You're not alone. Guys, what is wrong with the psyche of humanity that somehow thinks we're divided? We are all pieces of one divine puzzle. No, none of us are alone. You thinking you're alone is a figment of your imagination. It's a diabolical scheme perpetrated by the powers that be to make us think we're divided. That is a lie from the pit of hell. We're all one.
Yes, sir.
We're one. I got to go back to quote that great book that Minister Jamil started us off and messed up the whole stream. There is a quatrain of scripture that says, "Hear ye, O Israel, there is but one God. The Lord our God is one God." And we look, no matter what you believe, this is something that cannot be refuted. No matter what you believe. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. No matter what you believe, guys.
Right.
If you're an atheist, if you're an agnostic, if you're a Christian, Jew, Gentile, Greek, Hebrew, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, Muslim, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. This is what we have to know. Crazy. That all of us came from a single cell organism.
That's right.
Ooh,
Yes.
Ooh, yes, sir.
You can argue all you want to. Every single human being was an egg. It was one single cell. Even triplets and quadruplets were single cell, and they broke up into four.
Yes.
We're all one. Look, how do you take? I'm not trying to take this in this area, Mr. Thompson. But how do you take the obvious, which is all of us were created from a single cell organism, and then somehow magically think that everything that is came from nothing?
No, it doesn't add up.
We're all one.
My math or your math.
We're all one. The reason why I connect with Kevin and Brian and Jamil is because we're one anyway. We just seem to realize it.
That's right.
So that's mine. That's mine so far. Brian, it's 100 that could come from the free part. I mean, there's 100. Okay, so free is like a subheading. One reason to be in KaratBars is free to join. There's probably 100 subheadings under free. Because you can make money in the free position.
Oh man, that's right. That's right. I mean, and we won't put a pin in that one because it just what you was just talking about just made me think about the duplication. See, when you talked about that single cell that came out and duplicated into two, and duplicated into four. Come on, man. We talk about that DNA process of how we all connected by that single cell. But in the business, we do the exact same thing. We leverage the efforts of other people to be able to make it easier on ourselves.
Kevin, I leveraged y'all today.
Oh, man.
I didn't have the energy. Now I feel like I want to run through all the walls in the house because, guys, when you have a job, look, listen to me. Try to hear me. Try to hear my bodaciousness because I feel like I'm blowing some people off the stream. I'm trying to calm down, but my energy is coming from these three guys. Like when you're in a cubicle at work, they are intentionally dividing you.
Yes.
It's on purpose. The whole job system is a scheme to divide us.
To steal your juice.
To somehow make one, look, check this out, one employee of the month parking space. Really? Really? Look, that one guy is running the company. That one guy is making the company work. For real? Are we that arrogant? Employee of the month is everybody that came into the building today and gave their time and their talent and their treasure. Their human capital.
That's right.
Say that.
There is no employee of the month. They make you think, they program all this divide and conquer into our heads and then pay us with a dead president.
Not only a dead president on a piece of paper. That's just a little small piece of paper with a picture of a dead president.
I'm sorry, Mr. Battle. I'm sorry, Mr. Battle. Go back, man.
No problem at all. I know it's going when the spirit gets into the body. You know, we go in different directions. It's organic. So I love what we're talking about.
That's right.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Ask you gentlemen on the call. Another point I have on here, it talks about why KaratBars. It says no monthly requirements, and I bring that up because other companies, there is a requirement every single month just for you to be solvent in the company. Whether you're going to pay for a website that may be $50 a month or $99 a month, whether you have to get a certain amount of product every single month. If you don't do it, Mr. Thompson and I were talking about it last night on the stream. After about 2 or 3 months, you don't have any activity, they purge you out.
Yeah.
You can have a business that have 10,000 people, and something may have happened. You may have gotten sick and didn't have control of your business. 3 months later, you have a business, 10,000 people, and they purge you out. And you have so much sweat equity involved in that company. How can that happen? Over here at KaratBars, they say there are no monthly requirements. You start for free. You're not required to do anything. And by being in a free position, like you said, Mr. Delco, you can still get paid at the free position.
Yes, sir.
But let's I want y'all to share with the people, why is it so significant that over here at KaratBars, there's no monthly requirements necessary for you to make money in our company?
I want to add something. Thank you, Brother Brian. The word free, people mix that word up, and I want to make sure we don't do that. Can y'all hear me all right? Yeah, I want to make sure that people hear me. I think I hit something here on the phone, but I'm going to get back to you quickly. Here we go. But people hear that word free, and they mistake it, as Mr. Dalco said, as meaning having little to no value. But I'm going to look at free etymologically differently than that. The word free means liberated.
Come on.
The word free means emancipated. The word free means relieved of the burden of servitude to others who would encase you in the lock of slavery.
Brother, bring it, brother.
Yes.
And when you are talking about you can join for free, it doesn't mean you can join for that which has little or no value. The value that you add is your vision of freedom. Do you have a vision of freedom? Then every month to be free, again, liberated from the constraints and strictures of a monthly obligation or a monthly obligation in payment or activity that also does not limit your upward income. There is no limit on what you can pay yourself except 180,000 pay.
Ooh, see the interference of magic. Come on back, Brother Jamil.
Brother Jamil, you brought up a very good point.
Yeah.
Explain the significance of what you said about not putting limits on yourself, because when people get jobs, they walk in there knowing exactly how much their ceiling is going to be by accepting that job. Yeah. Look at an opening and it says you're going to get paid $60,000 per year. Explain the significance of them setting their mind at a limit, but understanding with free enterprise with KaratBars, you just explained 180,000 cycles. What does that really mean for people?
What kind of enterprise did you just say? Free. What's the first four letters of your team, Brother Kevin? Free. How do you join this business and what is it, the entry fee? So the idea, we are reinforcing the concept of financial and economic freedom. Now I'm going to say something may hurt some folks' feelings, but it's going to be necessary to be said. And then I think we're going to heal and we're going to recover. There are some people who speak the language of freedom but do not believe it in their minds. Some people work their jobs 40 hours a week, and I'm not telling you that your job is a bad thing. If you're on this feed today, your job can be the means by which you finance your freedom. There's no doubt about it. But if you are on this feed today, you know that there's something wrong with the system of education and employment in this country. You know that, as Mr. Dalco just said, we're being programmed into seeing ourselves as separate from one another and never accepting our communal oneness and the power of what we can produce together as opposed to the weakness of what we flounder in individually. We are to do something here today that has never been done before. What is that? It is to take people and the transfer of wealth and put it in the hands of the people who have been lacking it without taking it from anyone else. This is not larceny. This isn't grand larceny. This isn't some kind of theft. What we're talking about is people putting their ideas to work and function. So you talk about a monthly fee. That's the last consideration when you're doing business, because if you're thinking as a free man, you know that some days are better than others. But even the rough days that you have are nothing compared to the great days, which will make you forget that you ever had a rough day.
So, Mr. Jamil,
rough day. Monday, you're crying about your coffee. You're upset about having to come to work. Tuesday, you're sad because there's still 4 days facing you in the whole week. Wednesday is a day called hump day. Who the heck wants to be anywhere that they gotta be every on a day called hump day? Thursday, you're dragging, you can hardly make it. And Friday, you celebrate for a few days. You can go get the OJs living for the weekend. I'm telling you what I know. You can celebrate on one day for Friday. Then Saturday comes, you watch some football, you eat some potato chips. Sunday, you go to church. And by the time you leave Sunday service, you start getting depressed all over again because you got
Yes.
your
Yes.
job.
Yes.
People are free. When Mr. Delco's son needed him, we went to him. When our families need us, we go to them. We have, for the most part, the resources that we can bring to bear against the problems that we have. So this monthly freedom from a monthly requirement, I want us to look at the word free in its real etymology that applies to us. Free doesn't mean cheap and throwaway. Free means independent. Free means self-starting. Free means self-realizing. Free means full of the vision that causes the people to grow. Because if there's no peak, if there's no vision, then the people are going to perish. What do you envision? What do you see? What are you going to live like when you become free? That's the question to ask yourself, and don't be afraid to be free. These men that I'm looking at on this live feed today, Mr. Delco, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Battle, these are free men who are not afraid to be free. Where else do you know men, grown men, that would be in other times in this society picked up on vagrancy charges? You're not working for no man. You're not picking nothing. You're not chopping nothing. You're not driving nothing. You're not washing nothing. You're not swinging a hammer or a saw. Well, wait a minute. You're free. No, we had to lock you up for that, son. Not today. We're free. Brother Kevin can go on field trips with his son.
Yes.
That's a video from a school bus full of screaming 5-year-olds. But he can do that because he's free. When Mr. Battle determines that he wants to be in San Francisco on one day and New York the next day, he can do that because he's financially free. Mr. Delco can go around this globe because he's able to be location free. To be in one particular place to earn his money. I got off a plane ride one day. And after I turned my phone on, when I got on the ground, the phone kept ringing, bing, 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 bing. And I looked at the phone, what's wrong with this thing? And as I kept looking at it, it kept telling me, you got paid, you got paid, you got paid. Why KaratBars? I tell you why not KaratBars.
There it is.
Look, let me add this to what Minister Muhammad was saying. Was just I was stuck on a couple of the words you were saying there, and I was trying to listen to the rest of it, but my brain was just stuck in suspended animation, because this is what happens to us. And I'm not disillusioned enough to believe that somehow the four of us can say a word or two that'll break this mind conditioning. But truly, guys, truly, everything that is really valuable was free. Let's think about this now. Let's think about this for a second. How much did your brain cost?
Great gift from God.
Your heart and your circulatory system and your life force. How much did you pay to get that? Nothing. It was truly free. Like everything, like the rain and the wind and the sun, the stuff that grows all the crops. And the crops have seed in themselves. Literally, we could have a society with no money, because it's not, look, guys, it is not the cash that makes things come into being.
Teach.
The cash, what came first, food or cash? Minister Jamil, what came first, food or cash?
Come on with the food now. Come on.
All right, there was vegetation on the earth long before there was a monetary system. There was no real need for monetary. What you know what this is really designed to do? It's really designed to divide us. It's to divide the classes.
Yes.
Come on.
There's no real need for currency. But it's because humans believe that we're somehow separate that we need a currency to exchange goods and services. Who says that I gotta pay? If Kevin's yard grows apples and my yard grows potatoes, why can't I give him some of my potatoes and he give me his apples? I can't eat them all.
There you go.
Neither can I.
The earth is rife with abundance.
So you saying, Mr. Delco, are you saying that it's called the Garden of Eden and not the First National Bank of Eden?
Come on, Neil. Come on, Neil. Come on, Minister Jamil. The whole universe is filled with abundance. But but since we have this cash system, since we have this monetary system, since we have this classism, this racism, since we have all these isms, well, then let's deal with it. But I need you to understand that the real true things, they all came of free. And what has happened is we've been poisoned to believe that somehow free is, like Mr. Jamil said, somehow not valuable. Oh, it's valuable. Then we put great value on stuff, on iPhone. This is not free, but it has less value than this.
Teach. Come on, coach.
Okay, so when Mr. Battle started this stream off with "it's free to join," that word "free" and team, freedom, dominion, the dominion of things that are free.
Your dome.
Your dome, right? Free in your mind. The free things are always infinitely more valuable than that which costs you money. So when I found out that KaratBars was free to join, with no monthly requirements, Mr. Battle, you're throwing microphones. You're not dropping them. You're throwing them at folks. The fact that it's free and that there's no requirement. I had a gentleman say, well, can I make money if I don't sponsor anybody? I'm sorry to tell you, but yes, you can. It's not advised, and it's going to take a sponsor that loves you to build your team for you, but they could build a team for you and you could make money. They could pay for your business package, put 2 people under you like me and Kevin, and you're done. You could, God forbid, go into a coma for 2 years and wake up rich.
Right. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what the next, but that's a powerful number 3. No monthly requirements.
Man,
you can't get purged out of the system. Last thing on that one, Mr. Battle. I have a friend of mine who saw another business that he liked. And so he went and joined and kind of took his eye off KaratBars. And you can't quit because it's free to join. You can't quit free to join. And there's no monthly requirement, so you can't get purged. So even though he quit doing the business, you can't quit the business. He went over and started doing the other business. And he came back and he said, Mike, I was working this business over here and looked in my back office and I was earning more in KaratBars not doing it than I was in the business I was doing.
I don't think they heard you, coach.
Up right there. Gosh.
See, when a system is created,
talk, man.
When a system is created that meets the needs of its people in their time, that system, while not entirely perfect, may be the best and penultimate vehicle for that people to use to achieve their goals. You all love vehicles. We do. We love them. But we know the fitness of a vehicle is determined on how well we can use it to get where we're trying to go. Even as nice a vehicle as you have, I don't care if you have a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, or like Mr. Thompson, a fleet of them. Whatever you have, it's a vehicle. It's not where you reside and it's not your destination. It's a vehicle that you use to get from one point to another. You don't live in the vehicle. KaratBars is the best vehicle because it allows us to get where we will be living. Living is the higher calling, the vision. We don't sell you a product. We don't sell you a product. There's no pills, no potions, no lotions, no creams, no powders, none of that. What we would sell and represent to you is the infinite possibility of your own dreams. Ooh. What we would sell to you is, do you believe in your own self? And then we transfer a transaction in the currency, Mr. Delco, of belief. The currency of belief. the gold coinage of confidence. Do you believe in your own self? Are you confident? Are you sure? Do you believe? And if you believe in whatever you can do this. I guarantee you, if you believe that you can walk across the street, you can do KaratBars.
Come on.
Not because it's so simple that even a fool can do it. I'm saying it's so simple that even a fool can do it. Here I am. And I'm telling you that I am not a business whiz. I didn't graduate from Harvard B School. I'm not from the Wharton School. I'm not from Caltech or Berkeley. I'm not from Tulane or the University of Chicago. I'm a regular guy. And a regular guy with a vision can do more than a person with a wheelbarrow full of diplomas. Some of us have diplomas, and we work every day for somebody else who has no diploma. Can I please ask to go into the inner office of Bill Gates with microphone? You can't find a diploma on his wall because he doesn't have one. I'm not devaluing education, but I am putting the proper value on vision. Because Mr. Gates believed in what he was doing, he was able to bring about a vision and then call to him the people who had the education. I heard a wise man say one time that the people who know how always end up working for the person who knows why.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna say it again. The people who know how work for the people who know why.
Powerful.
If you know what your why is, then work for yourself and create your why.
And Minister Jamil, we don't have to devalue education. I mean, education is great because people who go to college get a degree to go work for somebody who had a job. So who had people who go to college to get a degree to go work for somebody who had an idea. All right. Mm-hmm. So we need people to go to college because as we're continuing to build this wealth, I've got all kind of ideas that I'm gonna put out there in the marketplace, and I need people to go to college to have degrees to come work for me.
That's right.
Right. See, there's nothing wrong. I'm not devaluing education. Let's just put it in its proper place.
That's right.
You want to get an education if you want to get a job.
That's powerful. What I'm hearing from everybody, I had no idea that we were going to go in these directions.
Oh, yes, you did. I know you, man. I know how you are. No, you set people up. You're the king of setups, man.
Check his list, Coach. He only got 2 things on that.
I know it. He's the king of setups. Brian, you're not fooling nobody, bro.
And what I'm hearing from you, gentlemen, is that, we have a phenomenal system. And it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not. It's all about your passion, your belief, and your vision.
That's right.
And it takes me back to, like Brother Jamil was saying about understanding being a part of a vehicle and a system. It goes back to a book I read called The Parable of the Pipeline. And it helps me understand what Mr. Dalco was saying about his business partners, that in that book, it talks about 2 individuals who wanted to make money, but one guy had a bigger vision and someone had a shorter vision. And his vision was, I want to create a well that's going to bring the water from the river to the people in the town. So he saw the short term. One partner saw as a short term gain that he was going to be a bucket carrier, and what he would do every single day, he would go from the town to the river and go back and forth all day long with a bucket, and he'll fill the well so the townspeople can actually get the water. Whereas his business partner said, "I want to develop a system, and what I'm going to do is it may take me 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but when I actually dig this pipeline from the town to the river and have a system in place, even though it looks like I'm going to have some short-term gains, but long-term, what's going to happen to me versus you is that when that pipeline starts to roll, I'm not bent over backwards. My back is hurting. I developed a pipeline of a system that the water will actually go into the town without me being there.
Right.
And then I can take that system and I can duplicate that system. The same way, as Mr. Dalco was saying, we come from one unit, one body, and Mr. Thompson said, we just actually split from there and we duplicate our efforts. We can take that system and duplicate it and get residual results from that by taking that idea and going from town to town to town. The same thing we do within our system right now. And the one who has the bigger vision, developing the pipeline, the system is going to ultimately grow at the higher rate. So we have so many people who walk around with buckets, but their buckets have holes in them. So as soon as they dip that bucket into that water, and they bring it back to town, they're losing so much value because the water, by the time they get there, is half full now. So we have a system in place. For one, we have a free enrollment in our business. That's paramount that we all talked about. Number two, there's no requirements every single day, but you can still build a business without having the proper requirements in what we're doing. And the third thing I want to talk, because we coming up on time. We got the power call coming up, family. The one thing I want to impress upon people, what is our product? See, we've been in industries where what's going to happen to me versus you is that when that pipeline starts to roll, I'm not bent over backwards. My back is hurting. I developed a pipeline of a system that the water will actually go into the town without me being there.
Right.
And then I can take that system and I can duplicate that system the same way as Mr. Dalco was saying. We come from one unit, one body, and Mr. Thompson said, we just actually split from there and we duplicate our efforts. We can take that system and duplicate it and get residual results from that by taking that idea and going from town to town to town. The same thing we do within our system right now. And the one who has the bigger vision, developing the pipeline, the system is going to ultimately grow at the higher rate. So we have so many people who walk around with buckets, but their buckets have holes in them. So as soon as they dip that bucket into that water, and they bring it back to town, they're losing so much value because the water, by the time they get there, is half full now. So we have a system in place. For one, we have a free enrollment in our business. That's paramount that we all talked about. Number two, there's no requirements every single day, but you can still build a business without having the proper requirements in what we're doing. And the third thing I want to talk, because we coming up on time. We got the power call coming up, family. The one thing I want to impress upon people, what is our product? See, we've been in industries where we had lotions, potions, notions, and everything else. Where we sold juice, we had electricity and so forth. But the real power behind our business that is gold. It's a money system. And then when people
Mr. Thompson, now stop. Okay, Mr. Battle, stop. I promise you, I'm saying, okay, we run out of time on the stream. We got to hit what our product is. And you said, boom, what is our product? It's gold. Guys, don't take the word of the messengers right here. We're just trying to stimulate some thought. Mr. Brian Battle started off with his free. We probably got to end with this gold. Get this for a second now.
Gold.
Don't free gold. Free. Did you hear what the Minister Jamil? You stole it. You took it. Free gold. Like we really do have a system to get free gold. And here's the other thing about gold that we can get for free through a system. Watch this, guys. Don't believe these messengers. Believe your bank account. Don't listen to us. Listen to your bank account and see if your bank account is saying what we're trying to tell you.
Come on.
That you can work for this stuff all day and it never ends up being enough. All of us put gold in our wallets, right? Because gold is an energy and a wealth attractor.
Come on, coach.
Right? And all of a sudden you plug into the system and wealth is attracted to you. Wealth begins to be attracted to you, right? Now, it's because when you learn a system, you're supposed to attract wealth, not make money.
Say that again, Coach.
You're supposed to attract wealth, not make money. See, make is a labor, it's laborious, it's intense. But you're supposed to attract wealth, not make money.
That's right.
Right.
And so what wealth builders are teaching us to do is become wealth magnets. And it might take a while. We got a bunch of junk in here.
That's right.
It might take a while to get all that stuff washed out.
Right.
Like today, that mindset that I had on me, it was really a poverty mindset. When you let energy bring you down, it's trying to bring you down to poverty level. That's a low vibratory rate. Wealth is way up here on a high vibration. It's vibrating on the same frequency with love and peace and tranquility and togetherness. These are high levels.
Also free.
Free. Guys, this stream is so on fire. This thing is so out of here. So continue. So go ahead, Brian. Try to wrap that up with the gold part. Go ahead.
We're gonna have to come back to part 2 on this, fella.
We have to. We'll have to.
But that's the thing. Our product is gold. I'm never going anywhere and ask somebody, would you rather have, and we heard this from one of our mentors before. If you had a choice, and you want to have a garage full of product, would you rather have a garage full of juice that has an expiration date that you will and pass on to your family to create a legacy that you have your sweat equity in, to the point that after 5 or 10 years, when that juice expires, can you pass it on to your family and create wealth? Or would you rather have a garage full of gold? And every time, unequivocally, 100% of the time, someone would tell me I would rather have a garage full of gold.
No doubt.
And that makes so much sense because it's willable, it's passed on. Again, it's a physical object that has true value that sustains the wealth for your family. It has your wealth for your family for years to come. And I understand that. And the thing is, we have the highest grade quality of gold on the marketplace. It's 999.9% pure gold. Yes, sir.
Brian, my wife had a car accident, so she has some pain in her hands. She's got carpal tunnel in both hands, tarsal tunnel in both feet, because when a truck sideswiped her, she grabbed the wheel real tight and pressed her feet real tight. And the doctors can't figure out why she's got all this nerve pain. It was just transfer of energy into her hands and feet. That's what it was. The doctors try to figure stuff out that's really is highly spiritual. They're trying to, do all these surgeries and stuff on her, but she still got the pain because of what she did. So we started reaching for the natural, right?
Yes, sir.
I know that the true cure is going to be in the natural. We just got to find the right substance. And so a friend of ours referred us to a natural product. So we said, well, we'll try it. So we purchased it. Now they're in another networking company with natural products. We tried the product. She tried it for 2 weeks. No change. The product didn't work. Here's the problem, that when I was in product companies, juice companies, the product may or may not work for everyone.
Right.
You will not find a person on the planet that this product won't work for.
Come on now,
The product is gonna fit everybody. The product is not gonna give you any allergies. The product is not gonna taste funny. The product is not gonna go out of style. The product is not gonna spoil or go rancid in your garage.
I ain't had to ask no doctor.
I mean, this is a drop the mic product.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
It ain't interfering with my insulin intake.
It doesn't require additional frankincense nor myrrh. It does not. And even babies need gold. What I mean by that is the fact that it creates intergenerational wealth, residual wealth, passive income. This is the kind of thing that, as Mr. Battle said, is willable for you to take it from your generation and pass it on. This is what the wealthy do. Let me ask you this. Among all the wealthy people that you can think of, that you know who are in the news, we mentioned Mr. Gates earlier, that may be the Walton family. But tell me, of all the wealthy people that you know, how many of them go to a job every day?
We'll wait.
How many of them subject themselves to the vagaries and caprices of a supervisor in a workplace who may or may not have all his marbles together? Then you tell me, what do we do to become among the wealthy? Not the wealthy who are robber barons and venture capitalists, but the wealthy who use their wealth, like Mr. Delco said, for the purposes of enriching a community and a world. Mr. Delco, if I say this wrong, please stop me, but I heard you say to me in another meeting with some other business partners of mine, that if you teach a man to fish, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. But if you teach that man to teach others to fish, you can end world hunger. Is that what you said, sir?
You on mute. You might be muted.
You muted, Mr. Delco. You muted.
I would like to take the credit for that, but that came from Lord Z. But it's the truth. See, we stop short of the miracle. We always stop short of the miracle. Give a man a fish to eat for a day, teach a man a fish to eat for a lifetime. But how selfish is that? That's another reason why you want to be in KaratBars. It is a systematic approach to acquiring free gold. See, you want everybody to partake in this blessing. You want everyone taking part in this. See, the reason why I love KaratBars is I get to celebrate other people's success. People that may not even be a part of my personal direct, and I have a nice sized group, but there are people on the team with 3 times the size group that I have, and I love to see their success. Because I realize that in order for them to have that size group and make that kind of money, that means they got to help a lot of people make money.
Yes.
This system, guys, please, whatever your trepidation, your fear, your concerns have been about networking, about KaratBars, about gold, about any of these things, do what you've got to do to break that limiting belief. Get back with one of these people on the stream and ask them to share a video with you because it's going to change your life.
Right.
I have no question in my mind. I didn't say it could change your life. It's going to change your life. If there's any information that's penetrating your heart and making your heart beat just a little bit faster, and it's saying to you, I need to hear more about this, but somehow maybe your ego, maybe you got that divide and conquer programming in your brain, or you maybe that hater programming in your brain. You're not a hater, it's a program.
That's right.
That's right.
You're not skeptical, it's a program.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Say it again, Kevin.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Yes, gentlemen, I want to wrap this up because this is a phenomenal call. It's got to be a part 2 and a part 3.
Absolutely.
So much information, knowledge that of individuals on this call right here, and I'm blessed and honored to be a part of this team. This team is phenomenal that we have as far as Team Freedom that we actually plug into what's called the Wealth Builders team around the world. And I'm blessed. So I want to just give my salute to Minister Jamil Muhammad, to my brother from another mother, Mr. Kevin 2X Thompson, and the man we call Coach, affectionately we call Coach. We love him dearly, Mr. Michael Delco, for this phenomenal call. Again, and I want to say for everyone who joined this call with us today, we thank you for your time. We thank you for your vision, your belief. Give back with the individual who shared this with you across this entire platform. If Mr. Thompson invited you, Mr. Muhammad invited you, Mr. Delco, or myself, give back with us respectively. Because we don't know how the laws of nature work. We're not here to steal anybody's people because we understand it's all about karma. And we are here to help each other be very successful. So get back with a person who invited you out, get more information about this phenomenal opportunity. Now, again, I want to thank our panelists on this call right here. I'm looking forward to a part 2. Share information. With that said, I want to thank everybody for their time. Mr. Thompson, you want to say something before we wrap up? I see you rubbing your hands there.
Well, brother, I just want to second what you stated in terms of just being in position. For those of you, that see this stream at whatever point in time or whatever, get back with the person that shared it with you or one of the esteemed gentlemen that's on the stream. Don't cut the line. Definitely just, if somebody shared it with you, get back with them so that they can give you some more information and feedback, because the laws of the universe will definitely compensate you. So, just thank you so much, brother, for even having the wherewithal and the vision to put this together. There will definitely be a part 2, so stay tuned. Coach, as Brian said, we thank you so much for just being who you are, brother. Brother Jamil,
you're welcome.
Appreciate you so much, man. You guys, man, I love you fellas, man.
Thank you, bro.
So with that, Brian, Coach, if you want to give up some last word, brother Jamil.
We got the power call coming up in 2 minutes. Those of you that don't know what that is, text one of the people that's on the stream and say, what's the power call? You're all invited on. A lot of it might not make sense. You hear people laughing, you hear people crying, but you're going to be inspired. And that's the number one thing you need to have success in this industry. Mr. Battle, thank you, brother, for an awesome stream and setup for this. And we'll see you on part 2.
Love y'all, gentlemen. God bless. Everyone have a great evening. Get ready for the power call.